Right now at 5, authorities investigate a deadly train crash in Newton County that claimed the life of a Joplin woman.
And we've got a few showers out there this morning. Otherwise, we're going to start clearing out as we head through the afternoon. Got to look at your forecast coming up.
Plus, MoDOT reports a troubling increase in fatal accidents involving commercial motor vehicles.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5 a.m. I'm Elise Snowy.
And I'm Chris Warner. It is now Thursday, September the 4th. Of course, we had some strong severe thunderstorms for parts of the area yesterday evening. Wichita, though, hit twice by 2 different storms with baseball-size hail. I was looking at the radar from it last night, and they've got that color scale. I've never seen it reach the max color on the scale, and that was 2 separate storms. So thankfully we didn't have anything quite like that. But still, you get some storms out there. Nothing really crazy to talk about this morning, though, which is good. Live look from downtown Pittsburgh. Things are doing okay so far. We've got cloudy skies. We've had some showers, a couple of rumbles of thunder here and there, which we'll show you in just a moment. MoDOT camera 20th and Rangeline Joplin looking good. We are dry, and there's what the Skywatch Storm Tracker looks like. Right now, we've got just this little stray shower here. Most of this activity is pushed east over towards Springfield, but it did initiate on our side of things. So along and east of 69 is where most of this has been. I think really just looking at trends and some of the data this morning, what we've seen already may end up being it for any of our morning storms. We mentioned, the last couple of days that we might have a few before sunrise, but it looks as though these may be the only ones we get, but we'll keep an eye on it. We might get a couple more that develop, but again, nothing severe expected with that. Once we roll into the afternoon, we'll have a mostly cloudy start to the day, and we'll eventually start to clear out as we head later into our Thursday. Thursday looks fantastic across the region. And then clouds begin to increase overnight tonight ahead of our increasing rain chances rolling into Friday. We're at 64 in Joplin right now, 63 in Pittsburgh. Temperatures across our area are not too bad. We've got low mid 60s out there. Off to our north is that cold front. That's what's helped trigger some of those storms that we saw yesterday. That's why, again, we have that chance, at least for a few early this morning. So we're going to go ahead and put up some isolated to scattered storms through about 7. But there's a good chance what we've already seen this morning is going to be it. So just keep that in mind. Kids getting on the bus, low 60s, mid 70s by lunch and recess, at about 80 when the bus brings them back home later today. We'll go mid 60s by 9, again clearing through the afternoon, mid 70s by noon. And our highs today, upper 70s, low 80s with a calm wind across the area. As I mentioned, though, our clouds will begin to increase overnight tonight, heading into Friday, and then our shower and thunderstorm chances increase as well. But our temperatures take a pretty big dive. We'll have a full look at your forecast here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, authorities investigate a train crash in Newton County that took the life of a Joplin woman. The incident happened on David Drive near the Tipton Ford access at Shoal Creek. Investigators say a southbound train struck a vehicle on its passenger side. The impact pushed the car about 275 feet down the tracks and into the grass. Emergency crews took the driver, a 58-year-old Joplin man, to an area hospital with serious injuries. The passenger, a 64-year-old Joplin woman, died in the crash. The same crossing was the location of another collision back in June 2024. The crossing is a dirt road marked by a plain crossbuck with no lights, bells, or alarms. Well, CMVs, or commercial motor vehicles, play a vital role in 4 states and throughout the world, but the role we don't want them to play is being a part of crashes. According to MoDOT, there has been an increase in the number and rate of fatal accidents involving CMVs, 159 deaths in 2024. Now that's 22 more than the previous year. We spoke with a local expert for advice on how you can protect yourself.
We don't allow for, the law does not allow for you to exceed the posted speed limit to pass. So if the truck that's in front of you is doing the speed limit and you're doing the speed limit, you shouldn't be catching them.
The right side of the truck towards the back is a blind spot, and the left side of the truck towards the cab is a blind spot. So if you're near the rear tires on the tractor part of the truck, he can't see you there.
Now, according to SaveMoLives.com, many passenger drivers between 20 and 40 put themselves in danger around these trucks due to inattention and reckless driving. Well, the badge may be silent, but the memories live on. The Kansas City community says goodbye to Officer Hunter Simoncic in an emotional ceremony today. The Southeast Kansas native attended Pittsburgh State University and touched many hearts in the 4 states before he started his career as a KCK police officer. Today, as Gianni Navarro reports, the emotions continued as people lined the streets in front of his patrol car and watched as his procession went by.
Family, friends, and colleagues gathered with heavy hearts at Children's Mercy Park to honor the life of fallen officer Hunter Simoncic.
There will never be another Hunter.
A son, a brother, a friend, and as many described him, a hero and protector whose dream was to become a police officer.
This wasn't just a career for him. He genuinely wanted to make a change to the world.
He was also someone who left his mark far beyond the badge.
Hunter was a good person. His family are good people, and they did not deserve this.
Can you hear me from heaven?
Loved ones sharing how Hunter had the rare ability to make people feel seen and cared for.
He made this world brighter. He reminded us to all live a life more boldly, to love more freely, and to never stop being kind.
The service closed with music, prayer, and this special moment, proving the impact Officer Hunter Simoncic had on his community.
We thank you for your dedication, loyalty, compassion, and service to the citizens of Kansas City, Kansas, Wyandotte County.
And although his life was cut far too short, it is clear his memory will live on forever.
Rest easy, my dear friend, until we meet again.
In Kansas City, Kansas, Gianni Navarro, KCTV5 News.
And today there's a visitation for family and friends beginning at 1:30 at the St. Patrick Catholic Church in Parsons, Kansas. A rosary service with a massive Christian burial will follow. The route from the church to the Mount Olive T Catholic Cemetery will be blocked off from 2:30 to 4 p.m. today. That's Ness Road from Main Street to 21,000 Road. And that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes coming up on the KOAM Morning News. President Trump threatens federal intervention in multiple cities while local leaders push back. Plus, a new Flinders University survey reveals the devastating impact of extreme morning sickness on expectant mothers. And rain chances in the 4 states. Chris takes another look at your Thursday forecast. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. Time now, 5:07. We'll be right back. Well, topping Nation Watch, President Trump expands his list of cities he claims are crime-ridden and in need of federal help. This comes as lawmakers are looking to extend the presence of National Guard troops in the nation's capital. Toreen Small has more details from the White House.
President Trump says he's preparing to launch National Guard troops to help combat crime in yet another Democratic-led city.
We're going to be going to maybe Louisiana. And you have New Orleans, which has a crime problem. We'll straighten that out in about 2 weeks. It'll take us 2 weeks, easier than D.C.
The president is already deployed to D.C. and has threatened other cities, including Baltimore and Chicago.
We could straighten out Chicago. All they have to do is ask us.
If this president wants to help us reduce crime, we'll work with him. But this notion that he is going to invade Chicago, put military checkpoints in that city, for God's sake, that's just an outrage.
Illinois Senator Dick Durbin says the president is playing politics.
He's ignoring states with Republican leadership where crime is even worse. Texas, Tennessee, Arkansas. I mean, I go through a long list of them.
Congress is now working on legislation that would extend the president's order federalizing the D.C. police force through the end of the year.
Ultimately, the responsibility should be at the mayor and city council level. But if they're not going to do the job, particularly in the nation's capital, we will.
D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser said the takeover does not need to go beyond the original 30-day timeline.
We have a framework to request or use federal resources in our city. We don't need a presidential emergency.
Bowser announced a 13% pay hike for Metropolitan Police in order to recruit more officers. Torian Small, CBS News, the White House.
D.C. Delegate Eleanor Norton Holmes filed a bill in Congress that would end the federal emergency, which the president used as justification for the use of federal forces in D.C. That bill has little to no chance of advancing in the Republican-controlled Congress. Well, still to come, Jimmy Kimmel is taking his show on the road to Brooklyn for a special week of episodes. Plus, we're tracking rain chances. Chris has a look at our Thursday forecast. We'll be right back. Well, Steve Martin, Selena Gomez, and Martin Short are back for a new season of Only Murders in the Building. Plus, Jimmy Kimmel is bringing his show east. Nick Zajovic has your eye on entertainment.
Jimmy Kimmel is coming to Brooklyn. The host of Jimmy Kimmel Live is set to do a week of shows starting at the end of the month. His first guest, late-night rival and friend Stephen Colbert, whose final season of The Late Show just got underway here on CBS.
A guy fills a fountain with blood in the most murderous building in New York. They say it's accidental?
The comedy mystery hit Only Murders in the Building is back for a 5th season with Steve Martin, Selena Gomez, and Martin Short returning to their famous New York apartment, blending laughs with whodunits.
Almost all my dramatic roles have been blended with comedy. So there's like Father of the Bride, which is a, yes, what?
I thought you were going to say, all my dramatic roles have been laughed at.
Only Murders in the Building is back September 9th on Hulu.
I didn't get here on charm, I can tell you.
The life of late musician Marianne Faithfull is celebrated in a new half-film, half-documentary called Broken English. Actress Tilda Swinton stars in the movie about the British pop star and muse who's inspired and helped write some of the Rolling Stones' greatest songs.
The only real sort of sadness attached to it is that Marianne's not here to see it finished.
Faithfull died in January at the age of 78.
All the Avengers are dead.
Marvel just unleashed its darkest universe yet. Marvel Zombies throws Earth's mightiest heroes into a full-on zombie apocalypse. Marvel promises more gore, more chaos, and a side of the MCU we've never seen before on Disney Plus on September 24th. That's your Eye on Entertainment. Nick Zajovic, CBS News, Los Angeles.
All right, let's take it over now to Chris for a quick look at your forecast.
Yeah, we got a quick look, quick look outside downtown Pittsburgh where we've got those cloudy skies. Had a few showers out there this morning. We may really be done with them for now. We'll have a complete look at your forecast and break down our Friday rain chances when we come back. Time now, 5:17. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. 5:19 coming up on 5:20 now on this Thursday morning. Skywatch Storm Tracker right now in our immediate area. We really don't have anything. We did have some scattered showers, a few rumbles of thunder develop earlier this morning along and east of 69. We could possibly see some additional development in that same zone along and east of 69 through this morning, but it's looking like, just based on some radar trends, looking at some new data this morning, this may have been all we're going to get for this morning. We talked yesterday, that we'd have an opportunity for a few isolated showers and storms pre-sunrise, and we've seen them. And there's a chance, as I said, that may actually be all we see. But we'll monitor it for the potential for some additional development. And if we see anything, just an emphasis here, we're not expecting anything strong or severe, just some rain, few rumbles of thunder. Now, once we head through the morning, skies will begin to gradually clear into the afternoon. And by this evening, we should just have clear skies, maybe a passing cloud or two. And then overnight tonight, clouds will begin to increase again after midnight. And we could have a stray sprinkle or light shower early tomorrow morning. But by about mid-morning, say 8, 9 o'clock, we'll see an increase in coverage of scattered showers and thunderstorms across the area, and these will kind of persist off and on throughout the day on Friday. Nothing strong or severe with any of this activity expected either, but it will be, it's an all-day kind of rain event, but it's not an everywhere all at once kind of rain event either. These will be scattered storms, but so you may get a pause in Pittsburgh for 20, 30 minutes before the next round of rain rolls in. As we go late evening and overnight, those showers begin to come to an end, and for Saturday, skies start cloudy and then we'll start to clear out and go partly cloudy by Saturday afternoon. Now, thanks to the rain and the cloud cover tomorrow, our temperatures are going to drop a bit, and we'll show you that on the extended forecast. Goodness, I apologize. Through the morning, Mostly cloudy skies initially. As I said, they'll start to clear out. We'll go about mid-60s by 8, low 70s by 11. Our temperatures today just a hair cooler than yesterday. We're looking at upper 70s and low 80s out there for most of us. Winds expected to be calm through the day. And of course, we'll have those gradually clearing skies into the afternoon and evening hours. Overnight tonight, again through the evening, clear skies. Looking pretty good. And then overnight, we'll go back to mostly cloudy skies, back in the low to mid 60s. Winds will be calm or possibly maybe a light breeze out of the northeast out there. But nothing that's really going to be anything to be problematic. So after we get past that, we'll go 71 tomorrow. That's what I'm talking about. We were looking at maybe some low to mid 70s tomorrow, but again, that's the fun thing about the morning news is we're getting fresh new data for the day, and it's looking as though some locations may not even make it out of the upper 60s tomorrow. And bear in mind, yeah, we're getting into September, but we're still early September. Our average high still into the upper 80s. So we're talking 10, 20 degrees almost below average across the region for our Friday. Got a really nice weekend ahead of us. Some of those isolated storm chances have gone away, but bear in mind, in the past, they can also come back. But at least right now, looking great this weekend, upper 70s, low 80s. We are still on track, though, by the second half of next week to start heating back up a little closer to, or maybe even a hint over normal into the mid to upper 80s. Let's check your forecast. We're going to send it over to Elise now with Health Watch.
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, extreme morning sickness during pregnancy takes a severe emotional and physical toll on mothers. A Flinders University survey found more than half of expectant mothers with extreme morning sickness said they considered terminating their pregnancy, and 9 in 10 say they considered not having more children. The condition also affected parents' work, their relationship with their families, and their mental health. And Americans aren't eating enough seafood. That's according to new data from the CDC. Dietary guidelines suggest we should eat 2 servings of seafood a week for nutrients like protein, omega-3 fatty acids, calcium, and vitamin D. But the CDC found only 7% of children eat 2 servings of seafood a week, and only about a quarter of adults do. Families with higher incomes tended to consume more seafood. Well, some sugar substitutes could be linked to faster cognitive decline. A study in the journal Neurology found that people who consume high amounts of 7 popular artificial sweeteners had faster decline in their thinking and memory skills. These sweeteners are found in ultra-processed foods like flavored water, soda, energy drinks, yogurt, and dessert marked as low-calorie. Well, earlier this week, the Food and Drug Administration urged that nicotine pouch manufacturers should use child-resistant packaging to prevent harmful interactions with children. This comes after reports of nicotine pouch exposure cases to the U.S. Poison Centers rose between April 1st, 2022 and March 31st, 2025. Now, past studies have shown that a small dose of nicotine could be fatal to children. According to the FDA, around 72% of nicotine pouch exposure cases involve children under 5. And that's a look at Health Watch. We'll be right back. Well, right now at 5:30, Pittsburgh community members discuss new initiatives designed to bring the neighborhood together.
And we've got cloudy skies out there, a couple of showers still possible this morning, and then a pretty nice Thursday. Look at your forecast coming up.
Plus, Missouri becomes part of a multi-state Department of Justice investigation into the 2020 voting equipment.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5:28. I'm Elise Noe.
And I'm Chris Warner. It is now Thursday, September the 4th, and we're just about to Friday, just around the corner. Going to be a soggy Friday for us.
Right.
But it's okay. The trade-off is a really nice weekend.
We'll
get to all of that, of course, here in a few more minutes. But we still have Thursday to get through, and that's what we're going to start with our live look from downtown Pittsburgh, where, again, it's cloudy. It's hard to tell. It's dark outside, but I assure you, it is cloudy this morning. MoDOT camera 20th and again, range line looking good. Again, it's really odd when it's eerily deserted like that because, if you live in Joplin, you live in this area, you commute to Joplin, you know, man, how range line fills up every day. All right, Skywatch Storm Tracker. Right now in our area, nothing. These showers and storms to our east were in our area. In fact, they started in our area and then began to track east to outside of our zone. And you can see almost right along and immediately east of the 69 corridors where all of this developed. That's where Future Track suggested it would be yesterday. Now, I think, based on some data that we're getting in this morning, this may actually be it. We were looking at this continuing possibly through 6, 7 a.m., but we may not see any additional development. But thing to say, if we do, nothing strong, nothing severe. If we get a few additional showers or storms, the better chances are going to be east of 69 this morning. But again, that chance is very low at this point. But it's still a possibility. Could get a stray shower storm to redevelop back here over the next, say, hour and a half, maybe 2 hours at most. After that, though, skies will gradually clear as we head into the afternoon. So a partly cloudy skies, and by this evening, we'll have clear skies and will remain clear through the evening and into the early overnight hours. And then after midnight, our clouds begin increasing again ahead of tomorrow's rain chances. Temperatures this morning, not bad. 64 in Joplin, 61 in Pittsburgh. Across the region, we are sitting into the low to mid 60s for just about everyone out there. Independence, the warmest spot at 67 degrees, and it's actually Pittsburgh this morning as the cool spot sitting at 61. Kids getting on the bus below 60s. Again, we're going to leave the rain and storm chances up there through at least 7 a.m., but we may be done with them, so do keep that in mind. But just, be prepared just in case. Otherwise, partly cloudy by lunch and recess time, mid-70s and about 80 when the bus comes to take them home, or if they're walking home later today. We'll go mid-60s by 9, mid-70s by noon. Our highs today, upper 70s and low 80s, and we're expecting winds to be calm or light and variable at best. As I mentioned, our rain chances do increase on Friday, and then our weekend looking pretty good. We'll go over all those details with you in the full forecast here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, the Pittsburgh Neighborhood Advisory Council held its monthly meeting yesterday at Memorial Hall. Community members discussed transportation concerns and discussed new initiatives designed to help bring the community together. That includes collaborations with local churches and Pitt State University.
All of our initiatives are kind of coming out. We've been working for the past year and a half to get a system in place so that a neighborhood has a resource to do a block party or to do a community cleanup. We're really excited about the trailer that we got with help from the Rolling Nostalgia Car Club.
The council has been meeting every first Wednesday of the month for the past year and a half. Their next meeting is set for October 1st. Well, Jasper and McDonald County clerks reject federal demand for access to their 2020 election equipment. A request from the Department of Justice is raising new questions about Missouri's voting machines, but local clerks say they will not hand them over and the law is on their side. KOAM's Blake Gully reports.
In a memo from the Missouri Association of County Clerks and Election Authorities, Missouri is now a part of a multi-state investigation by the Department of Justice to inspect and possibly take custody of voting equipment used in the 2020 general election. Both Jasper and McDonald County clerks say they were contacted by a man identifying himself as Andrew McCoy Warner from the DOJ, requesting access to their machines. McDonald County Clerk Jessica Cole released a statement saying in part, "In Missouri, our voting equipment is approved by the Secretary of State and must meet strict state and federal standards." She goes on to say, by law, custody, maintenance, preparation, testing, and storage of this equipment are the responsibility of the local election authority and my designated staff. Even though Jasper County has replaced its voting machines used in the 2020 election, the county clerk says handing them over would still be against Missouri law.
I don't have any problem with the Department of Justice from any administration wanting to make sure that our elections are accurate as well. It's just when they ask for the machines, if I did have them, which I don't, the statute prevented me from providing those machines to anybody unless I had a court order. If they went to court and gave me a court order, absolutely I would follow the court order. But following Missouri statutes, nobody is allowed to touch our machines, no matter what party affiliation they have.
From Jasper County, Missouri, I'm Blake Gully with KOAM News.
Officials add that all testing before and after elections is open to the public to help ensure transparency. Well, a local program is helping ease the financial burden for families with young children in Carthage. The Happy Bottoms diaper program through the McCune Brooks Healthcare Foundation provides free diapers or pull-ups to children under age 4 in the general area. Since launching last April, it's already serving more than 550 kids each month. Families just need proof of residency and their child's date of birth to qualify. Distribution happens once a month at the McCune Brooks Healthcare Foundation in Carthage. Well, Pittsburgh State University's newest president says he's excited to be in the position. Dr. Thomas Newsome says he has goals for staff and students alike. KOAM's Ty Parks was on campus with the story.
Pittsburgh State University has a new president, Dr. Thomas Newsome. He comes from the small town of Durant and worked through Texas and New Mexico, and now is in southeast Kansas.
This is a university that has some significant momentum. The last 3 years, this university has grown not only academically, but in terms of enrollment, in terms of the programs, in terms of its contribution to workforce development in this part of the state, in this part of the region.
He wants to focus on telling the story of the great things happening at PSU.
We have a freshman class this year that is growing. Our freshman class is up about 10% over last fall, which is very exciting. That's something that a lot of regional universities across our country can't attest to in terms of growth.
Budgets are tight everywhere, but he is focused on giving the teachers and staff the resources they need to be successful.
Really, my role here is to support all of our academic programs, all of our athletic programs, all of our programs inside and outside the classroom, so that those folks that are leading those initiatives, that are guiding those students in the classroom or outside the classroom.
Students on campus have their own goals for the new president.
Parking is always an uprising issue. It's been around for years, so really maybe just some new fun and funky ideas for that, because I feel like we cycle through the same ideas year after year sometimes. And then also accessibility for all students, and I'm thinking more of like in the disability aspect, like ramps, automatic doors, elevators that are always working and ones that aren't breaking down, especially in the dorms.
Other than equipment and maintenance, one of the overall things students want from a new president is more involvement.
And the president of the university can be there to, ensure that the students not only feel welcome here, but want to stay here and want to want to stay not only at this university but in Pittsburgh and feel happy and welcome here.
I think the message that I would like to give to our students is that our goal here at Pittsburgh State is to make them successful. And we buy scoreboards and we send students off to competition.
A message the new president wants both staff and students to hear. In Pittsburgh, Ty Parks, KOAM News.
Students say overall they're excited about what the new president will bring to the campus. And let's look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. A new CBS News YouGov poll shows Americans' views on the economy are dropping. Plus, Amazon Prime is ending a popular program that let members share accounts with people outside of their households. We'll have the latest. Time now, 5:37. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. In Consumer Watch, Americans are uneasy about the economy heading into the fall. 36% of people surveyed in a new CBS News YouGov poll said the economy is good, a 3-point drop from July. 61% described the economy as uncertain, while 54% said struggling. The poll finds Americans' outlook varies by income level. People making more than $100,000 a year overwhelmingly say the economy is good, while a majority of those making less than $50K say it's bad. Oil giant ConocoPhillips says it plans to slash up to a quarter of its workforce worldwide, impacting as many as 3,200 employees. It's part of the company's efforts to cut costs. The news comes as the job market shows more signs of cooling. The Labor Department reports that U.S. employers posted around 7.2 million vacancies in July. That's down from 7.4 million the month before. And Amazon Prime is ending a program that let members share accounts with people outside their households for shipping benefits. The company says the Prime Invitee program will end on October 1st. Instead, Amazon is now encouraging users who don't live with the account holder to get their own subscription, with a one-year membership offer for just $14.99 the first year. The company is also rolling out its Amazon Family program for account sharing within the same household. And that's a look at Consumer Watch this morning. Let's take it over now to Chris for a quick look at your forecast.
Yeah, we've got some cloudy skies out there to start our day, and we will have skies gradually clearing today. Could get a stray shower or two this morning, which we'll talk about. We've got increasing rain chances Friday, the latest when we come back. Time now is 5:41.
Well, tense moments after a man fell into a grain bin in Illinois. See what it took to get him out in today's AgDay Minute.
I'm Clinton Griffiths with today's AgDay Minute. A man had to be rescued from a grain bin in Illinois. Now you can see the massive effort here to get that man out, involving fire crews and farmers in Nokomis, southeast of Springfield. Crews arrived to find the man surrounded by corn and unable to get free. It took about an hour and a half of moving grain out of the bin in order to extricate him. Now he was then air flighted to a nearby hospital, with crews calling it a successful rescue. Texas has become the latest state to ban the sale of lab-grown meat. It joined 6 other states in putting such a ban on the books. Now, the state's ag commissioner hailing that ban is a massive win for Texas ranchers, producers, and consumers, calling it plain cowboy logic to safeguard its real, authentic meat industry from synthetic alternatives. And what happens to all those butter sculptures at state fairs? Well, at the New York State Fair, the butter is recycled. The American Dairy Association Northeast, along with some helpers, dismantled their 800-pound sculpture. Now, it will mix the butter with other food waste from local grocery stores, cafeterias, and manufacturers, along with manure, and process it at a farm's digester less than 15 miles away from the fairgrounds, converting it into energy. The digester creates enough electricity to power the farm and more than 600 homes for a year. For more ag news, watch AgDay weekdays on the station or get updates over at agweb.com.
All right, let's take it over now to Chris for a full look at your forecast.
That's actually really fascinating about the recycling of the butter. I kind of wondered that too when we did those state fair stories, and it's interesting that they add it with other things to make energy. And we've got no real energy out there this morning. We do have a few scattered storms to our east. They're actually bigger storms, not severe, but just they've congealed into bigger storms out of activity that developed in our area earlier this morning. We still have a very slight chance of an isolated shower storm this morning, really long and east of the 69 corridor. But as I've discussed this morning too, some of the new data is hinting that what we saw early this morning, which is about 3-4 o'clock, may be all that we see, but we'll just keep an eye on it. And if we do see any new development, nothing strong, nothing severe expected, so nothing to worry about there. Not like what we saw yesterday, as we discussed earlier too. Wichita, 2 separate back-to-back supercells producing baseball-sized hail in the Wichita metro area. Just absolutely incredible. And on our Skywatch storm tracker, it has that color scale. These storms, I've never seen this before. They were maxed out at the highest color the radar reflectivity meter could go from the National Weather Service radar. It is just absolutely incredible. So we were talking some significant hail. Thankfully, not the case for us, nor are we expecting anything like that. We'll have skies gradually clearing as we head through the afternoon, and as we head into the evening hours, we should be clear, maybe a passing cloud or two, but that's about it. It'll be after about midnight, maybe 2 a.m., the clouds will begin to increase again, and we'll go mostly cloudy overnight tonight. Could get an isolated shower or two as we head toward tomorrow morning, but then by mid-morning, say 8-9 o'clock, we'll start to see increasing coverage of scattered shower and thunderstorm chances. Now, as I mentioned, nothing strong, nothing severe with any of this activity. Will be a bit breezy. We'll have north wind occasionally gusting up to 20. But then we'll just be holding on to scattered showers and storms throughout the day. And you can see there'll be gaps. There'll be times where I used Pittsburgh as an example earlier, but really this is true anywhere. You may get a shower storm. It's out there for a little bit, an hour or so, and then it stops raining for a half hour. But then you'll have more shower and storm activity with you or moving in a little later. So we'll have scattered showers and storms for just about the entire area. They'll be off and on throughout the day. Once they get started by mid-morning, they really don't let up until the late evening and overnight hours. And as they do, even though we'll start mostly cloudy, maybe even some patchy fog Saturday morning, skies will clear, and then we're looking at a fantastic Saturday and really a fantastic weekend overall for us. So we're going to take a look at what it's going to take to get the morning started. It's going to take a lot of coffee. We're almost to Friday. I know, boy, our temperatures have just been everywhere. And I bet. Did not mean to hit that for you folks at home. Sorry about that. You folks in the back, sorry about that. No, it's a lot louder to you guys than it probably was to me. It's really playing havoc with folks. I'm sure you've noticed Elise and I kind of coughing a little bit here and there, clearing our throats. We had some sneezes. The weather change really just messes with people, and some people it hits harder. We're going to continue to bounce around on these temperatures for a little bit. Mid-60s by 8 a.m., low 70s by 11. And as I said, skies will be gradually clearing as we head into the afternoon. Highs today, upper 70s and low 80s. And then overnight tonight, as I said, clear through the evening, mostly cloudy overnight, low mid-60s. Winds will be calm or light and variable out there. Tomorrow, yeah, we were looking at maybe low to mid 70s, but again, the joy of the morning show, or the benefit of the morning show, is we get fresh new data for the day, and we're looking at low 70s. In fact, some locations, you may not make it out of the mid to upper 60s. We're talking 15 to 20 degrees cooler than average tomorrow. And that's that roller coaster that's just messing with everybody right now. We'll start warming back up again into the weekend. So our weekend does look great, looking nice on Monday, starting next week. And then here comes the other side of that roller coaster. We start climbing back up. Temperatures by the end of next week, closer to or maybe even a hair above normal, into the mid to upper 80s. So talk about a wide spread of temperatures out there. Let's check your forecast. We're going to send it over to Elise now with sports.
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, the Colgan Panthers have won at least 9 games in each of the last 3 seasons. And unlike a year ago, the Panthers will enter the 2025 season with a lot of familiar faces leading the way. Last year, Colgan relied on their junior class, who stepped up and led the Panthers to a playoff sectionals appearance. And now, with a year of experience under their belts, this Colgan team is picking up where they left off in 2024 with 9 returning starters on each side of the ball.
A lot of them were thrown into the fire last year as juniors and really did an outstanding job and got a lot better. And you can tell this year just the retention's really high, the rate at which they remember the plays and formations and blitzes and everything. So we feel like we're, in a good spot, and guys have picked things up quick.
We've all been together basically like our whole lives. I mean, we've played like 6th grade through now, so it's about like 7-8 years together. And I mean, I think we just build a lot of friendships, and like we all trust each other that we're gonna have each other's backs, and that really helps us in the games. Definitely great to have that experience. I mean, last year we went into playoffs not knowing like what we could do, how we could perform, but I mean, definitely this year we know we can perform to that level of playoffs, and I think we can definitely put a good run on it.
Now, as the Panthers prepare for kickoff, one key emphasis this offseason has been physicality. And with several returners up front on the offensive and defensive lines, Colgan expects the men in the trenches to be a strength this season.
Biggest thing, physicality, especially run defense. Play deep in 1A. You're going to see a lot of teams that are going to run the ball first. And so we've got to be able to stop the run. I think that starts with physicality all the way around. Football's a game of blocking and tackling when it really comes down to it, and it requires a certain level of physicality. And so we've really been focusing on the physicality of blocking and tackling. We return 4 starters on the offensive line and 3 on the defensive line. And so we return the bulk of the guys up there up front. A lot of them have played a lot of minutes. They understand the schemes. They can make calls and make adjustments on the field.
The Panthers kick off their season tomorrow at home against Girard. Kickoff is set for 7 p.m. from Hutchinson Field. The high school soccer season is underway across the 4 states as teams open up competition. One of those squads, Carl Junction, taking the pitch for the 2nd straight day. The Bulldogs taking on Springfield Central after beating Webb City on Tuesday. On first half, Bulldogs with the corner kick. Kale Trosper sends one into the box. Cruz Boren gets a foot on it and finds nylon to give Carl Junction a 1-0 lead to Central. Looking to respond, finding an opportunity in the middle of the field, and this open shot is corralled by Blake Miller. His goal to keep the lead. Still in the first half, Bulldogs on the attack. Josh Heaton with the courser, and Central is able to clear it, and not for long as Nolan Cook creates separation and tickles the twine to double the lead as Carl Junction wins the Battle of Bulldogs 3-0 to improve the 2-0 on the young season. That's a look at sports. We'll be right back. Well, the Nashville Zoo has welcomed 2 rare aardwolf pups to its animal family. The 14-week-old brother and sister were hand-raised after being born at Safari Wild Animal Park in Mississippi. Aardwolves are elusive, nocturnal, relatives of the hyena, and with a few in U.S. zoos, Nashville is now one of just a handful of institutions caring for this species.
And we've got an opportunity for some showers and storms Friday. Today, though, not too bad. Now, we could still get an isolated shower storm this morning along and east of the 69 corridor, but it's going to be very isolated if we see any new development at all. We'll otherwise have clearing skies through the morning. Mid-60s by 8. We'll go into the low 70s by 11 o'clock. And the temperature swings, I'm telling you, like I said earlier, they're really messing with folks, and we're not done with the temperature swings just yet. We'll be upper 70s, low 80s today. Winds expected to be calm, and again, skies will continue to clear. So through the evening, we're actually looking at clear skies, maybe a passing cloud or two, down to about 70 by 10. Mid-60s, low to mid-60s overnight, but then after about, say 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, we'll start to see clouds increasing, and we'll start going mostly cloudy across the area, and that's ahead of our shower and thunderstorm chances on Friday. We're going to go upper 40s, upper 60s, low 70s out there. So that's the thing. We should still be, even though we're in September, average high, it's still early September, it's supposed to be into the upper 80s. So we're talking 15 to almost 20 degrees below normal tomorrow. And again, some folks may not make it out of the upper 60s. Scattered storms through the day. You'll have pauses here and there. But hey, a wet Friday is a trade-off for an absolutely gorgeous weekend. Take a look out there. Temperatures manageable for sure, still below normal. And then next week, because we're not off this roller coaster ride just yet, temperatures climbing back near or even a hair above average as we go into the mid to upper 80s. That is a check of your forecast. We have another hour of the KOAM Morning News right after we do a little business with you.